Good evening, everybody. It is March 25th, 2022, and the S&P 500 closed positive for the week. The NASDAQ was down a little bit on the day, but positive for the week. I just got back from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was a great trip. It was good to get out and meet people once again as we emerge from this pandemic. But the markets had a pretty good week. I think the S&P 500 closed more positive than the NASDAQ, obviously because we have more exposure to the financials as well as the energy sector. So we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. We'll also talk briefly about remote patient monitoring. I think not only from an investment standpoint, but from an operational efficiency standpoint of the healthcare system overall. I think remote patient monitoring tools could essentially have the ability to save taxpayers a lot of money. What would you rather pay for? A $10,000 a night hospital bill or a specific remote patient monitoring solution that could potentially provide the tools to help keep patients out of the hospital? Because one of the things that we found is that if we want to lower hospital remittance rates, about 60% of the patients that are actually going back to the hospital is not for major events. It's because maybe they forgot to take their blood pressure medication. Maybe they forgot to take their insulin or something like that. So if we can deploy these remote patient monitoring tools out in the field, not only will it remind these patients to take their medications, remind them to take care of themselves, get their monthly checkups, and it'll keep them at home where they want to be. So we'll talk about that tonight. Beautiful view of the Empire State Building, by the way. Let's see who we have in the chat. Hey, we have Joey. What's up, Joey? Bianca M. Happy Friday, everybody. Dante Rose says, hey, Tom. Vinny Castellano, the one and only from Staten Island. Staten Island's finest. Vinny Castellano, my good friend. Good to see you. Says, welcome home. Charlie Richardson says, hey, Tom. Otto says, hey, Tom. Shauno is here. Good to see you, Shauno. And Sally, the one and only Jonathan Richards. Good to see you, Jonathan. Hope everybody had a great week. I just got back, probably about 15 minutes ago from Philadelphia. Great city. Great city. JB, Miss Brown Eyes says, hey, I made it. Good to see you, Miss Brown Eyes. Beautiful night in New York. Clear skies. The rain has finally moved away. Nick Rock says, you're missing the crazy music festival in Miami. I know, that is such a bummer. So I believe the Ultra Music Festival is going on currently in Miami. I think Action Kid is covering that really well. Tatiana Liviara is here. Jamie C4132 is here. Says, hey, Tom. Hemp Lord, Jordan LeBeau. All of our good friends are in the chat. Good to see everybody. Ren 10 says, hey, Tom, in the house. Good to see you. FredX says, Friday night. Thanks, Tom. Good to see you. Twisted BTW says, good evening, everybody. Well, welcome. Hello, everybody from Russia. Carol says, hey, Tom, I'm glad you're back. Thank you so much. Nick Rock says, did you go to South Street? I did not. So are you talking about South Street in Philadelphia or South Street Seaport here in New York? So I was only in Philly for about 24 hours. So I got there last night. And then I had a couple meetings. I did a couple presentations. But the main topics for these presentations, we talked about healthcare, remote patient monitoring, the future of home healthcare. So really good experience. I got a lot of information out of it and met a lot of really interesting founders of startups that are working on great software applications to increase the quality of life for patients. And I think that's the goal, right? I think that's the goal. So not only can we make a lot of money and a lot, by implementing these solutions, but it's always nice to try to make a good impact. Because as people are getting older in the United States, the number one fastest growing profession in the United States are home healthcare aides. And I think that's a pretty interesting statistic. And I think the main goal is, nobody really wants to live in a nursing home. No RPM solutions and things like that to improve the quality of life for patients so they can live a peaceful retirement in the comfort of their own homes as opposed to a nursing home or a hospital. I think that's a win-win. And so we're working on a lot of good hardware and software products for home health care, remote patient monitoring. So it was a great trip, but glad to be back in New York. Hey, we have Andy from South Korea. Good to see you, Andy. Hope you're well. We're walking down 33rd Street and 9th Avenue, and we are going to go to the Hudson Yards tonight. Haven't been there in a while. It is windy, but we do have the microphone, so I think we should be good tonight. Good to see you, Vinny Castellano. Chris Beeman is my good friend from Arizona. Good to see you, Chris.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good Friday. Chris, are you working this weekend? Or I think you're off. I think you told me already you're off maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hey, Shannon says, good evening, Tom. Good, happy Friday. What's up, Shannon? King says, hi, good to see you, King. Andy from South Korea, always good to see you, my friend. Hey, Nick Rock says, you sound crystal clear, great investment. Yeah, so Nick, we always had the microphone, but I keep losing that little Apple adapter, that little dongle. So I finally got it, and I'm gonna make sure I hold on to it. Hey, my friend Mark Davis. What's up, Mark? Says, good evening there, Tom. Hope all is well in New York City. Hello from Toronto. What's up, Mark? The one and only British Gray is here from Tampa, Florida. Good to see you. Laytha says, hey, or happy Friday, Tom, and everybody in the chat. Likewise, Laytha. You know, it's actually pretty decent weather. You know, over the past couple streams, I'd say the past 2 streams, the weather's been horrible. You know, like this misty rain, pretty cold. It's actually not bad tonight. It's actually pretty good. Mohammed is here. Hey, Mohammed. This is good morning and happy Saturday from Malaysia. Ah, very cool, Mohammed. Hopefully your weekend's off to a good start, my friend. Thank you for joining the stream as always, as we are here checking out Citrovia. Hey, Chris says, this is my weekend to work. I was off Thursday, Friday for our 32nd wedding anniversary. Hey, well, congratulations. Hope you had a good one. Miss Brown Eyes is here. Good to see you. Nick Rocks, Shannon. Sally is here. King, Andy. Yogi says, the less time you spend in Philadelphia, the better. You know, I actually kind of enjoyed it, but so anyway, I'm trying to figure out how I could explain this. So I didn't actually spend much time in the city of Philadelphia, supposedly. I only took the Amtrak there, and then I took an Uber to King of Prussia. Am I saying that right? It was definitely more suburbia, but I enjoyed my time. Hey, Cosmo Scary, our great moderators here. What's up, Cosmo? Good to see you. Sinjib says, hey, Tom. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Disney cast members says, how is Philly? Philly was good. Had a great time. I was there for a couple meetings, and we talked about remote patient monitoring and the future of home healthcare. So we're working with a couple of startup companies that are specializing in proprietary remote patient monitoring software and hardware. So very exciting stuff coming down the pike, but a lot of regulatory stuff that we have to get past, a lot of regulatory hurdles, because one of the biggest things about remote patient monitoring right now is we're in talks with a lot of primary care physicians, and everybody essentially wants to deploy remote patient monitoring solutions, but the main issue is the subsidy, because a lot of these home healthcare agencies or primary care physicians will get reimbursed for deploying remote patient monitoring solutions, but the only caveat is they need to be able to conclusively prove to the state of New York, the state of Pennsylvania, or whatever state they're in, that the technology solutions specific to remote patient monitoring that they're deploying, they have to be able to prove conclusively that these solutions are keeping patients out of the hospital or lowering the remittance rates. So there's a lot of startup software companies that are working on just that. But once we solve for that, I think you're going to see a lot of, government spending allocated to remote patient monitoring, which I think is going to save the taxpayer a lot of money, right? Because every time a patient unfortunately has to go back to the hospital, what would the taxpayers much rather pay for? $50 a month for remote patient monitoring or a $10,000 a night hospital bill? So all exciting things to come, and we will keep you updated right here. Bernard Friedman says, Tom, why are you live streaming so late? I think we usually live stream around this time, don't we? What time is it? It's like 9 o'clock? I think we usually live stream at like midnight almost. But good to see you. Brian says, good evening, Tom and everybody. Hey, Brian. Good to see you. Yogi says, are hospital lobbyists against this? I don't know about that. I would presume not. I truly tend to believe that the vast majority of people in healthcare, their number one goal is to help patients. Hey, Mark Davis says, love this topic, Tom, about patient healthcare. That's my area, however, of expertise. Yeah, I mean, Mark, it's going to be it's a lot of exciting stuff is coming. For sure. You know, we were actually talking with a consultant, and they actually did extensive research, and I was sort of explaining this before, but you know, the vast majority of the time that patients are admitted back to the hospital, it could be for something as simple as you forgot to take your blood pressure medication, so you have some sort of shock. Maybe you're diabetic, and maybe you're a little bit forgetful, so you forget to take your insulin, and then you have a medical episode. So with remote patient monitoring solutions, you'll be able to be notified automatically by the remote patient monitoring device to take your medications, to go to your routine doctor's checkups. And even there's actually a device out there now where it can do real-time teleconferencing calls or telehealth calls with the primary care physician. So a lot of interesting stuff coming down the pike, and I think it's gonna help a lot of people too. Because if you think about it, you know, as you get older, would you want to, you know, age in a nursing home or a hospital, or do you want to age in the comfort of your own home? You know, I'd probably say the comfort of your own home. Hey, Carol H is here. Says, happy Friday. Good to see you, Carol. Beautiful view of the Empire State Building we got, by the way. This is directly behind Moynihan train station, the brand new train station they just completed here in Midtown Manhattan. But Carol, good to see you. Deja Vu, welcome. Says St. Pete's beat Purdue 67-64. Wow. Good to see you, Deja Vu. King says, is telehealth the future? I think it is in some circumstances. Obviously, telehealth may not be a one-size-fits-all, but I think it will definitely help a lot of people. And I think it's going to make people healthier. Because if you think about it, especially through COVID, if you have to go to a routine doctor's checkup that you could probably get accomplished via a telehealth call, you know, that's probably going to keep a lot of people safe, because imagine all the viruses that you could pick up just from sitting in a doctor's office, right? Let's say if you're an immunocompromised individual and you have to do monthly routine checkups at the doctor's office, you know, if you're sitting in a doctor's waiting room, you know, that's significant exposure risk. So imagine if we could transition all of that activity via telehealth. I think it's gonna be a big opportunity. We're already working on really, really massive, sizable deals with home health care. So more to come. Hey, Carol H says, nice clear skies tonight in New York City. It's a beautiful night, Carol. I mean, if you remember, the last 2 nights have been crazy. It was raining, like misty rain sideways, kind of crazy. Laytha, it's good to see you. Chris Beeman says, Savi, good to see you. Sally Oliviera is here. Hey, Life, Liberty, and Guns is here. Good to see you, my friend. Love that username. Says, good evening. Hope all is well with you. Right back at you. Pacific Desert Raid says, New York looking great on this Friday evening. Good to see you, Pacific Desert Raid. Mark Davis's points well taken. Hope everything is going well with you, Mark. Yeah, I think the new camera we have is a little bit more clear. It seems as if the colors are a little bit more sharp. Yogi says, is there any big tech players going into the industry? Yeah. You know, I think, so not really to talk about remote patient monitoring or telehealth. Obviously, the biggest company that I could think of is like, oh I'm blanking on the name, like a Teladoc, which is located in upstate New York, but I think more on the pharmaceutical side, and I know it's not really related. I'm watching very closely Amazon. You know, a couple years back, they actually acquired a company called PillPack. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that, but I think a lot of the pharmaceutical sales will happen more direct to consumer or direct to customer. And so I'm watching very closely Amazon's play on that. That I'm quite intrigued on. Yeah, so Disney cast member, you're right. You are right about that. Disney cast member says New York is a little bit more proactive when it comes to things like this. That is true. So I think this is the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel, I think, right? Hey, Charlie Richardson says, I guess patient health remote monitoring systems is going to be subscription-based. Yeah, it'll probably be like on a SaaS-based model. So we're actually working with this company that has their own proprietary device. But essentially, this device could take like a SIM card, and you could use it on any sort of cellular network. So if you think about maybe like a Verizon and AT&T or something like that. But I think the use case is probably more suited for like an IoT, like a proprietary IoT platform. But essentially this device, it looks like a little hockey puck. And what it'll do is it'll go inside a patient's home, and via Bluetooth or 5G or whatever sort of network connectivity they choose, it could actually link up to multiple peripherals. So if you think about like a pulse ox, a blood pressure machine or something like that, and that little hub will collect data and securely via the cloud upload that to, you know, an EMR or something like that, where your primary care physician can actually see in real time all of your, you know, personal medical data. So I mean, think about how valuable that is. You know, that could save somebody's life. Imagine if, you know, all of your medical data is being uploaded to the cloud, so your primary care physician can see that in real time. You know, this is going to be able to catch, you know, maybe early stage heart disease, everything. I think it's a pretty big area of opportunity. Hey, photos from around New York says, ooh, we're back in New York City. Yeah, so photos just got back about 20 minutes ago. Just got back about 20 minutes ago from Philly. Missed my first train, but they were nice enough to give me a free sort of transfer to the second one. So I was going to, I think I got on the train, well, let me rephrase that. I was supposed to get on the train at about 6:15, but then they gave me, I missed that one because the traffic was crazy. So I got a free transfer to the 6:50 out of Philadelphia. Hey, Jared Covey is here. Says, would you go to an Amazon hospital? I'm not sure. That's a good question, but good to see you, Jared Covey. Hey, Liquid Nate says, my guy Tom. Yo, good to see you, Liquid Nate. Nate, the S&P closed stronger than the NASDAQ today. And I think that's because a lot of the tech stocks had a little bit of a sell-off. They gave back a little bit. But financials did good. And, you know, S&P obviously has more weighting towards financials and oil, gas, and energy. So everybody, it is extremely windy right now, but I do have the mic. So let me know if you could hear the wind noise, or are we clear? I'd be curious to see. Yeah, Mohammed says, Tom, New York is on my wish list. Layla says, I missed the Philly stream. I'll have to watch it later. Yeah, so Layla, we weren't able to stream in Philly. I was there on back-to-back meetings. So I actually didn't even have time to stream in Philly, unfortunately. So this is the Equinox Hotel here. And supposedly some of the rooms in this hotel can go for as much as $1,000 a night. Hey, Melee is here. Good to see you, Melee. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Pacific Desert Raid says it's good for now. Very good. Hey, G-Hope, says Tom, the mic is your best friend and mine. Sounds great. Thank you, G-Hope. Yeah, it's nice not to have all the wind noise every now and then. Troy 1995 says, do I have allergies? I do not. I do not have allergies. But good to see you, Troy. Colin Watts, his third last day of spring break. Hey, Out and About is here. Says, cheers, you were missing out on the Ultra Music Festival in Miami. I know. A little bit of a bummer on that one. But we were streaming the setup at least, but I think it's going on in full force right now. I wonder what time it ends. Hey, Razzle Dazzle says, hey Tom, how long is the train ride from New York City to Philadelphia? It was right about 2.5 hours, so it actually wasn't bad at all. 2.5 hours, but the trains are really, really nice. Really nice. Hey, Pacific Desert Raid, good to see you. This mic camera on the iPhone 13 are Tom's best companions. Appreciate that. But Razzle Dazzle, it's good to see you. I hope you're well. Carrie Henry, good to see you. Yogi, welcome. Mike Smith says, Tom, walking, good exercise. Michael says, any thoughts on CRISPR technology? So I think that is the gene editing technology, right? CRISPR gene editing. I'm very bullish on that, but I don't think I'm smart enough to make any individual investments in any sort of gene editing company, in my view. Because I think in a lot of biotech companies, a lot of the revenue is dependent upon the success of clinical trials. And I think that's a little bit, let's just say, above my pay grade. I don't know which solution is going to pass clinical trials or get approved by the FDA. So in a lot of these very micro-cap biotech companies, you know, these stocks could be trading at a ridiculous multiple times sales or times earnings. Well, many of them don't even have any earnings. But what will happen, and I've seen this many times, is you'll have news that comes out before the market opens about how the clinical trial is doing good, and then they don't get FDA approval. The stock drops 90% overnight. But I do think that gene editing technology will probably, within the next 20 years, probably produce cures for disease. That I do believe, but I'm just not smart enough to pick the right company that'll probably get it done. Hey, Oak says, Tom, Philadelphia is 95 miles from New York. Good to see you, Iowa Oak. Hey, Jerry is here, says, I guess the public would call gene editing Franken science. Kind of crazy. Yogi, good to see you. Savi, always good to see you. Omar says, come down to Miami. We have Ultra Festival going on. Leave the New York behind. We'll be back in Miami pretty soon. We'll be back there pretty soon. Judy D says, hey, Tom and everybody. Good to see you, Judy. But Michael Cohen, great question. What are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts? Hey, Joseph says, St. Peter's Peacocks on to the Elite Eight. Yeah, I got to catch up on a lot of the NCAA basketball. Diana says, hey, Tom. Good to see you, Diana. Bernard Friedman, always good to see you. So this building here is called The Shed, and it actually can extend in and out. It's kind of crazy, but it can. This thing is on wheels. And we are right here at the Hudson Yards. Hey, Sally says, today is my birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Sally. That's awesome. Hope you enjoy your birthday. Fantastic way to start off the birthday, by the way, on a Friday. Awesome. Hey, Za NYC, good to see you, my friends. As I miss New York City, Tom. Come back, dude. We'd love to have you. The one and only Matthew P is joining us. Says hello and good evening, Tom. Old chap, good to see you, Matthew. It's good to see you. Liquid Nate says, oh yes, Elite 8. I haven't seen any of that yet this year, but maybe this weekend. I'll see what's up. Yeah, I'll probably watch like the Final Four, probably. Wow, Sally says, thank you, Tom. Turning 30 years young today. Very cool. Love that. I was going to walk on the High Line, but unfortunately it's closed for the night. Yeah, photos from around New York, says Tom. CRISPR is being used a lot. Hey, Clarence Jackson says New York City to Philly on the Amtrak is nice. Yeah, I was actually really, really pleasantly surprised with just the cleanliness and the efficiency of the Amtrak. All good all around. Hey, Clarence says, Tom, did you eat out in Philly? There are some great restaurants in Philly. Yes. So I took a lot of my clients out to a barbecue spot. I'm forgetting the barbecue spot, but supposedly it's a very famous barbecue joint in Philly, but I'm blanking on the name here. Hey, Brian says, happy birthday, Sally. Indeed. Kirk says, what building are we looking at? Are you around the place they call the Edge? So the Edge is very close to here. I will actually show you the Edge. We will walk past it. But now we are looking at the Vessel. And this building right here is actually the Equinox Hotel and Residences. And I believe one night can command up to $1,000 a night. Kind of crazy. Jay Bless is here. Jay is here. Good to see you. So in this week's Behind the Street newsletter that I'm going to send out, I'm working on an interview with a very well-known certified public accountant, or CPA. So if you guys want to see that interview, I think you're going to get a lot out of it. We're going to talk a lot about IRAs, different 401k plans, estate planning, estate management. So if you want to read about that, if you type !news, NEWS in the chat, click the link that the Nightbot drops and punch in your email and sign up. You're not going to want to miss it. Very notable CPA. And we're going to do a segment on estate planning as well as tax benefits of tax advantage accounts. So I will send that out on Monday. It may be in this week's or next week's, depending on availability. Hey, Jared. Covey says ARK has a biotech exposure. Yeah. So, Jared, I believe they have a dedicated ETF only focused on biotech. Is that right? You know, maybe I'll ask Kathy Wood about that. You know, we are going to see her at the 2022 Bitcoin Miami conference, where we will have a press pass live streaming. And that will be on April 6th through April 9th. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel when we stream at the Bitcoin conference. We're going to be able to watch the Kathy Wood interview, Michael Saylor, as well as Max Kaiser, and maybe even the Winklevoss twins. I see my good friend Solo401. Happy Friday, Solo. It's good to see you. We're walking around the Hudson Yards. Haven't been here in a while. Solo, are you working? This weekend? Or are you off? Thomas Brady says, hey Tom, just curious if you have a legal background at all, or are you a pure businessman? So no legal background. I did, ironically enough, I did go to a criminal justice school and study criminal justice, but no core legal background. I went into tech sales, or enterprise tech sales. But good to see you, my friend Thomas Brady. Maybe Thomas Brady is like a pseudonym of Tom Brady. Maybe Tom Brady is a fan of the Walks on Wall Street streams. If that's the case, appreciate it. If that's not the case, still appreciate you being here. And I hope you're enjoying the stream and having a great weekend. Solo401 says, Tom, hi brother, I'm off this weekend. Love that, Solo. Solo, I just got off the train from Philly. Pretty nice city. You know, one thing I noticed about Philly, a ton of construction. I mean, a lot of construction. Thomas Brady. Love it, my friend. Nick Rocks is like, I think Tom Brady should take some of my retirement advice. I think if Tom Brady spent like $7 million a year, he probably spends more than that. He probably would never run out of money, that guy. Well, supposedly Tom Brady is going to go back in the NFL. Is that right? Or was that fake news? I can never tell if that's real or not. But supposedly that came right from Tom Brady's Facebook account, isn't it? I don't want to put out fake news, but I believe that Tom Brady came out of retirement. Is that right? Let's see if I can confirm in the chat here. Oh, Iowa Oaks says it's real. Solo 401 says Brady is coming back. That's crazy. I mean, that guy, talk about a sick work ethic. I mean, if, I consider myself a pretty hard worker, but if I spent as many years in the NFL and won as many Super Bowls as he had and made as much money as he has, I probably would take it easy. But then again, I don't like football. Maybe he really likes it. Hey, Dalton is here. Good to see you, my friend. Photos from around New York says Tom Brady's retirement plan is to play football indefinitely. Yeah. Hey, Mike Bell says 30-year rates hitting 5%. Will price out some buyers. Yeah, I think it will too. I think the average 30-year now is at like 4 point. I don't think it hit 4.5 yet. But it probably will price out some buyers. Hey, Joey Garcia says, hey, Tom, what's going on? Good to see you. Solo 401 says he's a machine. I got to see him play once. Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Silvio says, hey, Tom, good to see you, Silvio. Here, I'll give you guys a view of the vessel from this side. Joey says, hey, Tom, what's going on? What's up, Joey? Good to see you. Jay Bless says, I'm going to Miami. You'll love it, man. Enjoy it. Colby Coffee says, does the subways have those new platform installed? Not yet. Not yet. I think some of them it's impossible to because the platforms are too narrow. Hey, the Charlie Roll is here. Good to see you, the Charlie Roll. The one and only War Walker says, looks like a nice clear night. Good to see you, War Walker. Udo says, greetings from Munich, Germany. Hope you guys are all doing well in Germany. We're here at the Hudson Yards in New York City. Beautiful night. We got the car alarm going off. So for all of you who don't know, this is what the Hudson Yards used to look like. It was, all of this was that. Totally empty Long Island Railroad train yard where the trains would get maintenance and serviced. But now it is sort of like this billionaire's apocalypse here. Hey, Lisa is here. Welcome. Good to see you. Pineapple Water. Good to see you. Says, hi, Tom. The rates went to 4.9 today. Wow. That's a massive move. The bond market is moving like penny stocks. Jeez, that's insane. The wind is picking up too here. I retweeted something today that Tom Lee put up. And Tom Lee is the CEO and founder of Fundstrat Global Advisors here in New York City. So if you want to see it, connect with us on Twitter. You could follow @WalksWallStreet on Twitter. Check out that video that Tom Lee put up and let me know what you think. Oh, Mark Davis, I did get your message. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because today was just crazy with meetings. Yeah, Pixelogic. So Pixelogic says part 2 of the Hudson Yards is going to cover those tracks as well. Lena Sandoval's here. Good to see you, Lena. Sebastian, welcome. So now we're looking at the shops at the Hudson Yards. Jamie Price, the one and only, says happy Friday, Tom. Right back at you. Happy Friday, Jamie. Derek says so happy to see Action Kid living in Miami now. You guys should get together and do a live stream. Yeah, so me and Action Kid will eventually cross paths. For sure. I think Action Kid's gonna love Miami. The weather's beautiful. And he's gonna love it. I think he's already having a good time. Yeah, Jay says, Tom, I did my estate planning. It's very important. Agreed. But check out that video by Tom Lee. They were interviewing Tom Lee. And while you're on the Twitter page, make sure you click subscribe to the newsletter, because I'm going to be writing a very interesting newsletter this week. I'll send it out to everybody. So if you're on the Twitter page, just click the subscribe button. But I'll give you guys one more look at the Hudson Yards. Everybody's coming out of the shops. Hey, Carrie Henry, good to see you. Solo 401. Hey, Lewis is here. Good to see you, Lewis. Says hi, Tom. Warwalker says, how was Philly? Philly was really good. So I spent most of the time in meetings talking about remote patient monitoring, which we briefly covered in the beginning of the stream. I see big opportunity in remote patient monitoring, specifically in home healthcare. I think the goal is, if we can provide solutions or develop software or even hardware that will allow seniors to age at home as opposed to a nursing home, I think that's a big win-win. So a lot of these remote patient monitoring solutions will catch minor things before they turn into major things, if that makes sense. So for example, a person who's quite forgetful and they have diabetes, maybe they forget to administer insulin, maybe they have high blood pressure, they forget to take their high blood pressure medication. All of those little things can lead to big disaster and increase the hospital remittance rates. But if we could have remote patient monitoring devices and solutions to remind these patients to take their medications, to remind them to go on their telehealth conference calls with their doctors, we can significantly reduce the amount of patients getting admitted back to the hospital. And not only from a health standpoint it's good, it's also good from a taxpayer dollar saving standpoint. You know, Medicare and Medicaid pay a lot of money for patients to spend the night in the hospital. Hey, we have the ABX girls here. Good to see you, ABX girl. Hope you're having a good Friday. Lizzie says, hey Tom, happy Friday. Good to see you, Lizzie. Jerry says, need an at-home fountain of youth. NNB045, the one and only, says, happy Friday, Tom. Hope you had a fulfilling and productive week. I did. I just got back to New York, so happy about that. But Philadelphia treated me well. If you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, feel free to give a like on the video. But this building right here, this very unique one, it actually can contract in and actually go all the way out. It's called the Shed. Very interesting building. No, Clarence Jackson, it wasn't Blues Barbecue, it was something else. I completely forget what it was though. I should remember, but I forget. It was not that though. It was one of the most prominent barbecue places in Philly though. This is Tom, I like the idea of remote patient monitoring. I do too. I do too. A lot of venture money is going to a lot of the remote patient monitoring services too. Lizzie says, yes, that would be great. I work in healthcare. They also need a care coordinator to help them keep up with care. Yeah, Lizzie, you're exactly right. So that's really the field I specialize in. So I sell tech solutions to the healthcare field. But now we're trying to vet out different startup companies that are best fit to go to market to provide these remote patient monitoring solutions. And what we were talking about before at the beginning of the stream, I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but essentially everybody's going to roll out remote patient monitoring services from the primary care providers down. It's just going to happen. It's only a matter of when. But here's the biggest caveat. So there needs to be a way for, whatever agency there is, whether it's a primary care physician, a home health care agency, they need to be able to provide conclusive data that shows the state of New York, the state of Pennsylvania, and so on, that these remote patient monitoring solutions they're deploying in the field are actually conclusively lowering the remittance rates to the hospital. And if they can do that, then you're going to get government subsidy for this. And that is going to blow up the industry. And I know what you guys are thinking, oh, more government spending, that's not good. Well, it's actually really good, because would you rather, have your taxpayer dollars pay for a night in a hospital, which can be $10,000 for one night in the hospital, sometimes even more? Or would you rather pay $50 a month to have a remote patient monitoring device in an elderly person's home? I would say the latter. Wow, Michelle O'Rourke, I hope everything goes well. Definitely praying for her. Michelle O'Rourke, please keep us updated on that. Hey, Lewis. This is Tom. The streaming image is super sharp. Appreciate that, Lewis. Yeah, Sherry Henry says nobody wants to go to the hospital. I agree. So let's check out the Empire State Building here. Hey, the Austin Tennis. This is Tom. How was the city of brotherly love? It was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Jack says, Tom, you mentioned Roth IRAs. If so, where do you get one? So I personally don't utilize Roth IRAs. That's because there's different income requirements, right? So the government, based upon your income, let's say if you make, I believe for a single person, and don't quote me on the exact numbers, you feel free to Google it if you want, but I believe if you make over $120,000 a year as a single individual, you cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA, the government really wanted to make it for like the average person, but now I think the average person and above, let's just put it like this, I think they should open it to everybody. They should be able to contribute to a Roth IRA. Because essentially, once you contribute money to a Roth IRA, it'll grow tax-free over the course of its investment lifetime, and you don't have to pay taxes upon withdrawal either. So you pay taxes up front, and then that wealth will grow tax-free. Time lapses, it's under $140,000. So it looks like they raised it. Yeah, Colin says most people here in Yellowknife earn over $100,000. Clarence Jackson says under $144 for the tax year 2022. That's actually pretty good. I think that they actually may have raised that then, Clarence. But, then again, I think it should be open for everybody. But that, that's up for debate, but... Cosmo Scary says, what do you do if you make more? You can just add to a traditional Roth, or there's many different types of, let's say if you're a small business owner, there's many other different tax advantages you could use. But I want everybody to check out this book, and I actually just bought this book, by the way. It's called The Power of Zero. And Edward Slott, actually wrote the foreword to this book. And Ed Slott is really considered the dean or the know-it-all of retirement accounts in America. He's actually from Long Island. I believe he graduated from Adelphi University. He has his CPA practice in Garden City, excuse me, not Garden City, Rockville Center. I apologize. So check out that book, The Power of Zero. And you could check out Ed Slott. And Ed is probably one of the best CPAs of our lifetime. And he has a lot of free content on YouTube as well that'll teach you about all different types of retirement accounts. So check him out, The Power of Zero, Ed Slott. Out and About says, what if your YouTube channel gets really big? Would you give up on your business and focus on the YouTube channel? Probably not. I really just like streaming out of enjoyment. I mean, I love it. I think it's a very good routine builder, you know, working all day as opposed to, you know, going out drinking or something like that. I could network with all of you on the stream, build those relationships, and talk to a lot of smart people, so I really like it. Marty Lewis says, I get Ed Slott's emails. Yeah, Ed is really good. Ed is very, very brilliant guy. Local guy too, graduate of Adelphi. Adelphi is a pretty good private school in Garden City. Natalie, sorry, says, hello Tom, I just subscribed to your channel. I like the sound of your voice. Hey, thank you for that, Natalie. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying New York City. You know, you caught the stream on a better day because the past 2 days on the stream, it's been really, really rainy and kind of disgusting. So thank you for being here, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Time Lapse is let's do a meetup event with Tom. You know, I was actually thinking about that. I may start a local sort of investing / book club where maybe we'll meet once a month at a local coffee shop here. We'll rent out the coffee shop, just have like maybe an hour networking session, and we'll do the same thing in Miami. So I'm in the works with contacting the creators of the Miami tech events. So perhaps if anybody is in Wynwood or Edgewater, maybe once a month we could have like a Walks in Wall Street, you know, networking event where we could have a good time, drink some coffee, spend an hour, talk about business, or really anything. Maybe we'll do that an hour a month. Looks like the Rangers game is getting out. So we're walking past 9th Avenue and 33rd Street. A lot of traffic here today. A lot of traffic in Philly too. Ooh, that guy almost got hit by that bus. Hey, Iowa Oaks is Tom. Madison Square Garden in Rangers colors coming up ahead. They won tonight 5-1. Awesome. Hey, Time Lapse is cool. B&H. Yeah, this is B&H Photo. Very, very famous for New York. Hemp Lord says, I see fans in the distance. Michelle O'Rourke. That makes me feel really sad. I really, really hope everything's going to turn out all right. But please keep us updated, Michelle. I think everything's going to be fine. I just follow your doctor's direction. And, you know, we're all pulling for you here on the stream. That's for sure. That's for sure. So please keep us updated. But I'm positive everything's going to turn out all right. What? Is that true? Latest, like I remember B&H used to sell scuba gear. Carol Reevy, that's crazy. So check out this view we got. That's a great picture. So on the right, you have the brand new Moynihan train station. Directly ahead, we have the beautiful Empire State Building. We got a little bit of a light show going on. And then we have the Madison Square Garden. Hey, Matthew Taylor's here. Good to see you, Matthew Taylor. Rich Gordon's is on Monday. Weather will be very cold like winter. I'm not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that at all. Hey, Long Island Duck 52 is here. Good to see you, Long Island Duck. Hope you're doing well. So I think tomorrow we may stream from Lower Manhattan. We may stream from the Mighty Bull and the one and only Wall Street, the New York Stock Exchange. Hey Lucas, this place looks like a ghost town. How sad what they did to New York City. I actually think there's a lot of people out today. But Lucas Rojas, good to see you, my friend. Hey, Alexander, this is Tom. Are you seeing more people on trains now that gas is expensive? You know, I was reading some statistics that actually shows New York City traffic is worse than it's ever been. And that's because people are trying to avoid public transportation due to the increased crime and the virus, obviously. Hey, my friend Roy S. is here. What's up, Roy? This is Tom. How do you rate your Amtrak experience to Philly? 8.7. 8.7 out of 10. Very high score. Very high score. I liked it. Amtrak was nice. But good to see you, Roy. Hope your week was well and hope your weekend's off to a great start. Yeah, so Brian's talking about the hit and run. So we'd never... Because the license plate was too blurry, unfortunately. Good to see you. Says you heard that New York City and San Francisco are leading. Could be. Yeah, Lucas Rojas, you're right. Yeah, Lucas, I used to work in Midtown Manhattan on 45th Street and Avenue of the Americas for many, many years. And you're 100% right. You know, just to give you some perspective, I used to go out for coffee with coworkers, and during lunch it used to be so slam-packed here. But now, during lunch hour, there's not really too many people, honestly. And I think that's because people are still working hybrid. Not everybody's back in the office. Alexander says, Tom, would you take a flight to Philly? I would. I definitely would. So let's cross the street. We're going to see all the Rangers coming out of the Rangers game. Or all the Rangers fans, I should say. So this is West 33rd Street. So maybe we'll walk through Koreatown tonight. But this is Pennsylvania Station. This is actually the old Amtrak entrance. But right across the street is the brand new Moynihan train station you see here. And this actually used to be a post office. It still is a post office in full operation, but the vast majority of the building now is the brand new Moynihan train station. Hey, Dem Tix says, hey Tom, I'm currently coding while listening to you. It's awesome to hang here. Hey, that's awesome. So I was actually going to make like sort of a coding and relaxing stream on the channel. I think I still may do that. But what are you working on, if you don't mind us asking? And what language you're using? Are you using Python? Would love to know what you're building or working on. So here is the very front of the brand new Moynihan train station. Fox says that's Grand Central, not Grand Central Terminal. No, this is the Moynihan train station. So Grand Central Terminal is a little bit further uptown. Hey, Santo is here. Good to see you. Stephen James is just about this. I live in Arizona, and there was a time in life we couldn't have known what was going on in New York for at least 4 or 5 months. Wow, technology is something. Thank you for being here, Stephen James. Lucas Rojas says, do you think Mayor Swagger will ever lift the private and public employer mandates? The unvaccinated, hardworking New Yorkers are angry. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, honestly. I really don't know if he will or not. But Mayor Eric Adams, I do think he's going to get really hard on crime. I think he's going to throw the hammer down on crime. Which that I think is good. I think he's taken the good proactive steps of doing that. But look, the guy just got in office, so we got to give him a fair shake. And as you guys know, I tend to lean, more conservative in nature, but I do give everybody a fair shot. So if you get elected fairly, I'll give you a fair shot. So I think we got to give Mayor Eric Adams some time to work on things. So we'll give him a year. We'll assess in a year. Laytha's like, the hammer needs to be thrown down on crime. I mean, if there's anybody can do it, I think it would be Eric Adams, because he was a police officer for many years. So I mean, de Blasio has no policing experience. I mean, Eric Adams devoted his entire life to being a police officer. So if there's anybody that knows something about policing, it's going to be him. Lucas says Eric Adams hasn't reduced crime enough. In fact, that it's gone up since he took office. Yeah, but I mean, he took office a couple months ago. Yeah, but I don't really want to make it too political of a stream. But I totally understand and appreciate where you're coming from. I do tend to lean conservative as well. But I do, however, think it's important to, once somebody gets in, I think the city, especially during a time like this, where crime is spiking, to your point, I think we got to give him a shot. But I understand your point. So this is the very back. So guys, I had no idea. Billy Joel was actually playing here last night, I believe. I would have loved to gone to that. All right, but let's keep the politics to just a little bit of a minimum on the stream. It is a Friday night, and boy, was it a crazy week at work. So let's try to just chillax. But I do respect everybody's points of view, 100%. More than welcome to put them here. Hey, Jamie Massetti, good to see you. Says thanks for your stream, Tom. Hey, live on Miami Beach, good to see you, my friend. How is the Ultra Music Festival going? Hope that's going good for you. No, Lucas, no big deal, dude. You're more than welcome to post any thoughts and opinions here. We do appreciate free speech, so feel free to post anything you want. It doesn't matter if I agree with it or not. You're more than welcome to voice it here. So this is the back entrance to MSG. I think this is actually where the players come out, isn't it? Or maybe it's over on the other side where the players come out. I know Cole's like, pray for no rain in New York City, Tom. I mean, we just came off of 2 days of relentless rain. So I think New York has gotten its fair share of rain. Hey, the RT440 says happy Friday, Tom. You as well, my friend. Carol Reeve says, Tom, I 100% agree with you. Good to see you, Carol. Kilo Whiskey Juliet says, yeah, this is where the players come out. Cassie Bell 85 says, do you live in New York? I split my time 50-50 between New York City and Miami. So yes, I live in New York. That is where I'm from. Crypto Booster says Dogecoin. Very cool. Hey, Pineapple Waters, Tom, when you refer to Westgate, Florida, is that near Sawgrass? I have no idea, honestly.
We came out of those, of course. There you go. So it was a good time.
Stephen James is like, at least with you we can get honest news. I appreciate that. So everybody, let's head out. Let's go to Koreatown. Koreatown is going to be amazing tonight. One of my favorite places in the city too. So we'll be sure to check that out. You know, actually, maybe tonight on the stream we'll actually stop into a place on Koreatown and get something to eat, because I haven't eaten tonight. I completely forgot. I only ate at a barbecue place for lunch, but then haven't eaten, so maybe we'll pick up some chicken or something. Yo, Lucas says, I live in South Florida too. I actually just bought an investment property there recently, but I'm going to be splitting my time. But big fan of Miami, love Miami. I live in a very Haitian and Cuban community, and on the day I moved in, literally, I'm not even joking, there was like 5 or 6 people right at my doorstep on the first day, giving me all sorts of food, all sorts of different things like spices and all of this Haitian food. It was really just amazing. I mean, the people are really, really nice. But we got a traffic jam here on Fashion Avenue and 31st Street next to the Smash Burger. Hey, upstate Albany, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Lucas, I think I do fit in Miami. I mainly work down in Brickell. So Brickell is extremely, extremely lively. A lot of younger people and a big startup environment. So I really like it so far. Hey, Matt Bob says, wow, nice hospitality in Miami. Good to see you, Bob. Mark Ashley says, are crypto coins taxed like stocks? Yes, you do have to pay taxes on cryptocurrencies. And I would strongly, strongly advise to contact a CPA about that. Upstate Albany Walking Show says, Walks in Wall Street, I'm sick today. Hopefully you get better. Please get better. Hey, Brad's Brain, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Cindy Foley, good to see you. Yeah, Laytha, my neighbors, you know, I got really, really lucky. We got a Tesla here. Love the Tesla. Love the Tesla. Hey, Guzman is here. It says, evening, Tom. Long day today. Time to relax. Watching your channel. Have a great weekend. You have a great weekend too, my friend. Very good week. Very productive week. Joseph Priest says, I was born in Fort Lauderdale. A guy just shot up a bus in front of the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. Yeah, I saw that. That's horrible. It's horrible. Mark Ashley, good to see you. So check out, this is going to be the brand new Penn Station. Look at all the construction going on. This place is going to be awesome once it's finished. Bay Crane, back in the day, that was one of my biggest accounts. Yeah, Cosmo's scary says it better be awesome. That's the first thing people see when they come to New York City. Totally agree. I think the new Moynihan train station puts a really, really nice perspective to New York, but the old Penn Station is horrible. Hey, Room Z says, Tom, I'm programming as well while watching the stream. Awesome, dude. That's fantastic. Rachel Pye says, any culture shock going from New York City to Miami? No culture shock. No culture shock. I mean, New York is so diverse as it is that I really don't see any culture shock. But I really enjoy both places. Hey, Cole says, Tom, my cousin bought a house near Wynwood. Wow. Well, Wynwood is one of my favorite locations in Miami by far. Wynwood is a fantastic area. Hey, the Swan is joining us from Ireland. Good to see you, the Swan. Hello, as always, Danny Kennedy says, hey, Tom from Texas. Again, back in New York City we are. We're back in New York City, just landed from Philly. Hey, Marty Lewis says, Tom, did you notice how nice the 30th Street station in Philadelphia is? Haven't been there in years, but I love the design. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, it sort of gives off a similar vibe of Grand Central Station. Very similar. Hey, Tina to me. Says, Tom, just got in. Any update? So the topic of tonight, we were talking about remote patient monitoring. I just got back from Philadelphia on a lot of business meetings about remote patient monitoring, met with a lot of software companies, met with a lot of startups, met with a lot of cellular carriers. So all good stuff in the works. Carol says, Tom, you now have me noticing Teslas now. Yeah, I have been noticing Teslas a lot lately. Here, everybody, check out the Empire. I'll give you a nice shot of it. Hey, the Swan says, Tom, your voice is definitely different in the nighttime comparison to the day. Your voice is a lot softer now. Well, I think you're probably right. Today I did a lot of talking. I probably did like 3 or 4 hours of straight presenting. And that takes a lot out of you. It may not seem like it, but when you're presenting in front of like 70 people, you know, if you're going for an hour and asking, and a lot of people are asking questions and you're answering them, I mean, it probably takes a lot out of my voice, for sure. Hey, Iowa Oak says, I noticed the Tesla too. They probably aren't too many of them in Iowa. So Leida, it wasn't a 3 to 4 hour long straight presentation. It was about like an hour, then a break, an hour, then a break. So 3 separate presentations, an hour long each. Here's another Tesla. Hey, Daniel G from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good night. Hey, Gerard Vincent said, Tom, where did you dine in Miami? So here's the funny thing. I actually forget, but it was a barbecue place, but I forgot the name of it. But everybody, if you like the Empire State Building, smash the like button on the video. Look at that view. Beautiful view of the Empire here. Cole says, have you taken any classes for public speaking? I have not. But I think in college I had to take an elective in speech or something. But I don't think it really helped at all. I think it was more just like an elective to get a good grade, I guess. So this is 32nd Street and Broadway. And we're coming up on Korea Way. But Daniel G, hope everything is well in Argentina, my friend. Hey, Frank, this is so true. I do consulting in the logistics space, and an hour alone drains me. Yeah, I mean, especially if people are asking questions. And you know, you always have that one guy that hammers you with questions. You know, so you take a pause and you're like, hey, so any questions on that slide? And then the guy hammers you with questions he already knows the answer to. But that's all right. There's always one guy in the bunch. I always like to say those are the people that try to like stump the chump. So they try to see if you're full of, you know, BS. You know, a lot of consultants do that. A lot of people from Deloitte, no offense to anybody that works at Deloitte, love Deloitte. Very smart people at Deloitte, but they tend to be a little bit like they think they're holier than thou sometimes. But I work with a lot of Deloitte consultants, very smart people. I learn a lot from them, very helpful. Hey, Richie Doo-Wop says, must have been a hockey game. Yeah, I think the Rangers were playing. Yeah, War Walker's like, I smell Korean fried chicken. Well, my favorite chicken place is over here. This is my favorite place in Koreatown. Yeah, NNB 045 says, wasn't that Frank Sinatra's New York? I think it was. Lanice says, hello from Panama. Lola and Greasy enjoying New York as we're going in June. Well, welcome to New York. Hope you have a great time. Jack says, Tom, did you party a lot in college or were you a bookworm? Neither. I was just working a lot. I worked like 70 hours a week. Probably shouldn't have burnt myself out a little bit, but you know, I think if you go to school in New York, and if you don't have like a family that has a ton of money that has, you know, that can pad your pockets, essentially you really gotta work in New York or you're gonna go broke. So here we are, 32nd Street, Korea Way. Hey, Jamad says, hey Tom, nice to see you this morning. Nice to see you too. Photos from around New York. Says, what about consultants from McKinsey? Hey, Daniel G says, Tom, cold night in Buenos Aires, high inflation, unfortunately. Yeah, I think the inflation rate in Buenos Aires is what, about 50%, which is kind of wild. Yeah, Lewis, you're right. Yeah, Lewis is like, Tom, probably a better use of your time anyway to work. Perhaps. Hey, Alan Wilson says, good evening. Where are we? It doesn't look like Philadelphia. Yeah, I just got back. I just got back from Philly about an hour ago. About 1 hour ago. Hey, Wolf Theta is here. Good to see you, Wolf Theta. Good to see you. So we'll take a little bit of a walk through Koreatown until we get to 5th Avenue. And we're going to see a really, really nice view of the Empire State Building. So enjoy the walk through Koreatown. I'll let you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of it. So I will start talking again and reading the comments on 5th Avenue. So see you guys on 5th Avenue.
Yeah, just go to space. Just go to space.
All of yours.
All right, so we are coming up to 5th Avenue.
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
I'm
hey.
streaming.
Are we both
Oh,
on Twitch or
streaming at the
YouTube?
same time?
YouTube. Walks on Wall Street. Good to see you.
Swimwear roll, does it happen at all?
All right, here we are, 32nd Street and 5th Avenue. I think he was streaming on Twitch. Very cool.
If you don't fall
All right, here we are. So right across the street are my I would say my favorite Korean barbecue place is right across from here. Hey, Nick Rocks, good to see you, my friend. Lewis, good to see you. Hey, Alex says hello. Good to see you from Colombia. Welcome. Good to see everybody from Colombia. Hey, Psychic says jacket weather in New York. Beautiful night in Miami. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's probably it feels like it's 55 degrees out here in New York, but it's supposedly supposed to get down to like 26, 27 degrees tomorrow. So it's going to be freezing. So here is my favorite Korean restaurant in Koreatown. Hey, South Beach Trader, what's up? Good to see you, South Beach Trader. So South Beach Trader, what do you think about these movements in the bond market? You know, it seems like these rates are really, really spiking. You know, the S&P 500 closed higher on the day. closed a lot stronger than the NASDAQ, obviously because of more exposure to financials and oil and gas and things like that. Tech stocks pulled back a little bit, but I think it was warranted. Hey, Antonio says, hey Tom, Miami is a ghost town compared to New York City. What's your thoughts? I disagree. I think Miami's overcrowded. Miami is insanely crowded. G Hope says, one of your best skills is that you aren't afraid to say, I don't know. Speak out an expert on that subject. A lot of people feel like they have to know everything. Yeah, so G Hope, and you know, that's a very common mistake in sales too. So if a client asks you a question, a lot of times salespeople will have to come up with the BS answer to try to impress the customer, but customers can see through that nonsense. So a lot of the times, if I don't have the answer for a question, I say, hey, to be totally transparent and honest with you, I don't know the answer to your question, but I have a portfolio of solutions engineers that does know the answer to these questions. Would you like to set up a call for tomorrow at 2 o'clock where we can get you matched with the right people? And I think if you take that approach, people are going to be more respecting of you. Because a lot of the times, you know, if you're asked a question you don't know, you know, tell them you don't know. You're not the jack of all trades. Not everybody can know anything, so you're 100% right. Hey, Life, Liberty, and Guns says S&P is a much better indicator of the market, I think. I think overall, probably right. S&P 500 is definitely more inclusive of a lot of sectors, for sure. Cool. Santos says, I agree. Good to see you. Yeah, and in my opinion, I think you come off as more believable if every now and then you're totally honest with your customer and tell them you don't know. Right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, hey, can your software product API integrate with my current existing system? That's a great question. I personally don't know, but I do have the correct people that I can put you in touch with that can get you that answer. When are you available for a call? That's all you got to say. So let's walk to Madison Square Park. We'll check out Italy because I want to see the Empire State Building from the other side. Yeah, South Beach Trader says Ukrainian conflict, and I feel like there's going to be a liquidity crunch starting. I agree. Hey, Carl says lovely Friday night. Good to see you. Hey, Randy the Machine says always assume the customer knows more than you. Love that. Hey, D is here. Good to see you, D. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Good to see you. Hey, Alex says, honestly, New York is my favorite city. It's my favorite city, too. War Walker says, are you going to get something to eat? Maybe once some of the traffic dies down a little bit. I like that saying. The smartest people don't have all the answers. They know how to get them. Very cool. Hey, Lady O is here. Says, I was at Italy this week. We'll post a vid soon. Awesome, Lady O. Good to see you. So everybody, tonight we were talking about remote patient monitoring. But either in tonight or tomorrow, this week or next week's edition of the Behind the Street newsletter, we will be interviewing a very prominent and well-known CPA. So if you want to receive that, I will send it out on Monday night. So if you type !news, N-E-W-S, in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter, where I will include that interview of a very, very well-known CPA. we're going to be talking about estate planning, in addition to what are the best tax advantaged accounts for your retirement. So you're not going to want to miss that. Check out the Behind the Street newsletter, and I will also be posting it on Twitter if you want to follow at Walks Wall Street, where we will be posting all that information for free for you guys to consume and learn from. Hey, JMTS Productions says, wait, I thought you weren't playing the stream today? Yeah, so we came back from Philly a little bit early. I didn't want to commute back tomorrow because tomorrow is supposed to be horrible weather. So we are now, what's it called? We are now back to, what's it called? New York City. We took the 6:50 train out of Philadelphia. Santo, good to see you. Brian, have you ever been to a Thai restaurant in New York City? This is Dimitri X. I have, and actually my good friend owns a Thai food restaurant on the Upper West Side of Manhattan called Sen, S-E-N-N. So if you want to check out a really, really good Thai food place, check out the Upper West Side and type in Sen, S-E-N-N. Jay's like, I have the newsletter on my iPad as we speak. Awesome, Jay. So actually, since it's Friday night, I'll let you guys decide. Should we take a walk around Madison Square Park and then head uptown, or should we head uptown now and go all the way to Radio City Music Hall? So I'll let you guys decide. Hey, Alex says, Tom, I just subscribed to your channel. Do you live in New York? Hey, thank you, Alex. Yeah, so I live in New York, but I split my time 50-50 between New York City and Miami. So we will live stream about 5 days a week in New York City as well as Miami. So thank you for joining. So we essentially live stream around New York City, Miami. We talk about the markets, we talk about interesting things in tech, and we also write a newsletter called Behind the Street. So thank you for being here. Lady Os is uptown. Jamie Price is uptown. Uptown, everybody says uptown. All right, we'll head uptown. The Swan, good news for you. Ooh, somebody says Madison Square Park. We'll head uptown, and if we have time, we'll go back downtown. But the good news is we do have a good view of the Empire State Building, at least. So here's something that's not good. One of the things that's not good is I have a Patagonia vest on and a winter jacket, and it is getting quite hot here. Hey, Kate is here, so I'm happy to see anything. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good Friday. Al Baker is like, I say we go to the observation deck.
Yo, come on, man. How long you been sitting here, man? That's a bike lane. Oh, no, it's not. It's a turn lane.
No, it is a bike lane. It is a bike lane.
Oh,
It
see,
is.
I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
Motherfucker.
Tina Toomey is downtown. Good to see you, Tina. Samantha R. Good to see you. Yeah, so we'll take a walk uptown to Radio City Music Hall. We actually haven't been there in a while on the stream. Jamie Price, good to see you. Hey, JC says hello there. What's the latest? You've stayed up streaming. We usually conclude at around midnight, I think. So usually we start at around 8:30. Love that dog, by the way. Great dog, German Shepherd. 9.7 out of 10. Very high score. Very high score for a dog. Hey, Michael Cohen. Said, any thoughts on rare materials? Availability, supply for EV? Yeah, I think that could be a problem. I think one of the biggest issues is that the world's, or the majority of the cobalt in the world comes from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where they have egregious human rights violations, and a lot of the cobalt is actually mined with slave labor. And that's the truth, and it's horrible and it's egregious. But that's true. And this guy is right in the sidewalk. But he has a BMW, so he's allowed to do it. Atomic Skittles, good to see you. Says, hey Tom, just got back from a New York City trip earlier tonight. Super fun. Hey, awesome. I hope you had a great time, man. Did you get a chance to go to Central Park? I hope you had time to visit Central Park. So we're coming past Koreatown once again. Yeah, Christina, so I did hear that. And I sometimes watch a lot of his stuff too. Hey, DS says hello, this is my first time here. Welcome, DS. Hopefully you come back for some more live streams around New York City. Good to see you, DS. Welcome, welcome. So we'll actually go up this way because I want to go up Broadway. So we'll walk through Koreatown one more time. Hey, Ali from Iraq is here. Good to see you, Ali. Atomic Skittles says, I went to Central Park for a bit. Super cool. Didn't get a chance to see the whole thing though. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's sometimes could take you almost a week to see everything in Central Park. But at least you got to see some of it. Hey, JC says, what type of phone is that? It's good quality. So we are streaming from an iPhone 13 mini. Because my other phone unfortunately broke as I was running to the bus. I think both of the cameras unfortunately blew out.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
So I used to see that guy every single day commuting from work. He used to dress up in a Santa Claus outfit every day and wish you a Merry Christmas. But I think he's on to a new outfit now. Okay, so this is Koreatown, but we are walking on the other side of the block, so a little bit different.
The sound. They didn't let us in the third floor. There was like guys outside of the fifth floor.
I think there's some new nightclub event or something. Seems like a lot of people are lined up. At least that's what it appears to be.
Who are you?
Oh, excuse me.
No, there's a really pretty girl. No, she's at the bar.
A lot of people tonight. At least it's a sign that things are getting back to normal, which is really good. But
I got home at 4 something.
so this is Grace Street, which is one of the best bakeries here in Koreatown. Yeah, Lady O's like Friday night is live. It's good to see it too. You know, the Koreatown area is almost like Marybrickle Village a little bit. At least with the kind of vibe of a lot of younger people, you know, outside having fun, things like that. Hey, Alan Wilson, what's up? So I was gonna go get something here, but I think the lines are too long, so maybe we'll eat after. But Alan Wilson, good to see you, my friend.
But bitch, now that I drank,
All right, so now we're coming up on Broadway. Atomic Skittles. Is Tommy, you a fan of Joe's Pizza? Joe's is all right. Joe's is all right. It's not bad, but it's not like the best. It's pretty good. It's all right. Is that where you went? You know, Atomic Skittles, you actually should have probably went to Made in New York Pizza. It's actually a pretty good spot. And they're actually in litigation with Prince Street Pizza. So I think that Prince Street Pizza is suing Made in New York Pizza because allegedly they stole the recipe for their spicy pepperoni slice. So that's always a good place to go. Cosmo Scary says, Tommy, you going to Korea soon? Yes, I actually am, very soon. DS is what part of New York are you from? Long Island? South Shore, Long Island. James Bonds has always loved New York. What's up, James? Good to see you, James. Yeah, Cosmo, I was thinking about that. I just don't know how I would do that. Well, actually I can, because I guess the phone is unlocked. I could just probably pop in a SIM card, right? Yeah, technically we were just in Koreatown, so I guess we did get a little piece of Korea. Jason Francis is here. What's up, Jason? Wolf Theta, welcome. Nick Rock says you have your own music festival right in front of you. That's true. Hey, Mana D is here. Says good evening, Tom and everybody. Good to see you. DS is how long have you been doing videos like this? I think we started our first live stream, I think was in May, but I think I started the channel in April. But I think we started doing live streams in May. So usually we stream 5 nights a week, and we have a dedicated topic of either finance or technology. But the topic of tonight's stream, we briefly talked about remote patient monitoring. So if you want to learn a little bit more about remote patient monitoring, the very, very interesting implications and applications of RPM, please check out the beginning of the stream. Hey, Danielle Ashley is here. Hey, Tom and everybody. What's up, Danielle? Happy Friday to you. We're overlooking the Bank of America Tower here. Off the hook. Good to see you. Yeah, Warwalker's like, and the rest is history. Warwalker, any plans for the weekend, my friend? You going to the beach or anything fun? So whoever wants to play me in ping pong, if you're ever in Bryant Park and you see somebody holding a camera talking about finance, let me know. We'll play ping pong on the stream. Ooh, here comes the wind. So now we are about to approach 34th Street, Herald Square. You know, I think we were at Bryant Park last night too. And they're taking the whole Winter Village down and putting up the grass again, which is good. Yo, Jay is here. This is good evening, Tom. The first video I saw of yours was last year when a rude female guard closed in the restaurant on you filming. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. I remember that. I think somebody on the stream wanted me to check out some restaurant. I remember that night. I think that was about a year ago now. Kind of crazy. Yeah, G-Hope says it's windy. It is windy, but hopefully the microphone is blocking out a lot of the wind noise. Wow, everybody, check this out. So in front of Macy's, it looks like they're putting up all the decorations for the flower show, I guess. Hey, DS says, do you think digital currency is the future? Yes, I do believe that. So DS, I actually wrote a piece about this. I know that you're new here, but we do write a newsletter, so a financial newsletter where we talk about not only the US equities markets, we talk about emerging markets, commodities. So if you type !news, N-E-W-S, in the chat, it'll drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter, where I send it out every single Monday afternoon. Also, if you're interested in Bitcoin or anything like that, if you want, we do have a press pass to the 2022 Bitcoin conference where we are going to be front row and center live during the Michael Saylor keynote speech, also Kathy Wood. So we're going to be doing full coverage. We do have a press pass to the 2022 Bitcoin conference where we are going to be seeing a lot of notable people on Wall Street as well in the crypto space speaking. So please join us for that. Wow, this looks great. So I remember, so this is how I know it's almost been a year streaming, because I think one of my first YouTube videos I ever filmed on the channel was a skateboarding video, skateboarding the Macy's flower show. So if you look way back on the channel, you'll actually see the first skateboarding videos I ever did on a GoPro, skateboarding all this stuff. Yeah, War Walkers says so much work goes into this. Look at it. It looks pretty good. Alex says, are you going to broadcast live tonight? We are. We're live right now. Alan Wilson says, skateboarding, do you skateboard? Yes, we do. Kimberly is here. Good to see you, Kimberly. Peter Webley is a social credit score tied to a digital currency and digital ID. Hey, Otto is here. What's up, Otto? Yeah, all this stuff looks so nice. Hey, Sherry, this is Tom. Are those real flowers? I never knew Macy's did this. Yeah, they're all real. Well, actually, hold on. Let me not say that. I actually don't know. I'll find out. Yeah, these definitely don't look real. I think some of them are real, some of them are not. I think these are fake. But some of them are real. But these ones are fake. Synthetic. Cynthia Beale, good to see you. Hey, Jay says, how does Macy's survive? How does Macy's survive in this new age? Well, I think they've been trying to make a more digital presence, at least. So Macy's is actually not doing too egregiously bad. You know, and I think other stores like Kohl's, for example, right? I actually think they partnered with Amazon where you could do Amazon returns in a lot of the Kohl's stores to sort of drive traffic. But I agree with you. I think that a lot of companies that fail to make a digital online presence will probably go under. Hey, Daryl says, hey Tom, Action Kid is doing a dual live stream from the music festival in Miami. Yeah, I was watching that. It was awesome. I was watching that earlier today on the train ride from Philadelphia. But Daryl, good to see you from Chicago, Illinois, my friend. So I think this is one of my favorite shots of the Empire. What do you guys think? If you like this view of the Empire State Building, smash the like button on the stream. I think this is one of my favorite shots of it. Hey, Jeffrey is here, says, love you all, New York. Good to see you, Jeffrey. Ken Kramer says, bought Macy's stocks for $5, now 26. Great trade on that, Ken. Awesome trade on that. Hey, Western Mass Dave, what's up? Says, welcome back, Tom. Good to see you, Western Mass Dave. Yeah, Jared Covey says, Tom, the camera is definitely a little bit better. Hey, Sue812 says, hola, good to see you. Welcome, Sue. War Walker, welcome. Says, Macy's will outlast all of us. Agreed. Kecha says, I'm excited for the spring flowers. So am I. As am I, my friends. So now we are passing the Harrier building here, which is where they have a lot of events. Alex says, how difficult is it to live in New York? Not too difficult, but obviously it is an expensive city. So it can be difficult at times if you know, you're paying a lot of money in rent and things like that. Miguel Garcia, good to see you, Miguel. Welcome. Matero R, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, War Walker says it looks a little bit like the Moynihan building. It does, kind of. But now we're walking on Broadway 37th Street. And I think we're coming up on the location where we were streaming the New Year's Eve stream. That was a really fun stream, if you guys remember that one. Was anybody in the chat here for the New Year's Eve stream? that was a good time. Could we get a quick time check in the chat? I just want to make sure I'm going to be on time for my train. Joe Garcia says, Tom, I'd rather be homeless living in New York than a house in California. Wow. It's a big statement, Joey. I'm not sure if I would agree with that, but I respect the opinion 100%. All right, 38th Street. Jamie Price, what's up? So tomorrow we may be streaming from Federal Hall, downtown near Wall Street. We'll check out the Mighty Bull, the New York Stock Exchange, and the like. Jace says the best way to walk around New York is with headphones listening to music. Very cool. Alex says, do you understand Spanish? A little bit, but I'm not fluent in Spanish, at least not yet. That's one of my goals, is to be fluent in Spanish. I think I'll probably be fluent in like 2 or 3 years. That's the goal. Hey, Elvin says hello. What's up, Elvin? Good to see you. Hey, Diego says hello from Argentina. Love Argentina. We have a ton of viewers from Argentina. Hey, Michael's is curious, what phone service do you use? I use Verizon. So Verizon seems to be really good, but also I do disable 5G on my phone. So if you want really high speed, really high speeds for streaming, it's actually best that you disable 5G. Because contrary to what a lot of the marketing says online, 5G is only available in very, very select locations across the city. Hey, Exploration says that's not scaffolding, it's a sidewalk shield. Exploration, it's really good to see you, my friend. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Bianca M says hello. Good to see you, Bianca. Hey, Michael Marquez says thank you for the heads up on 5G. Yeah, what you'll see sometimes, especially if you do speed tests, if you always have your phone toggled to 5G, your phone will always try to connect to the nearest 5G network, and you're going to drop a lot of calls. Your data speeds are going to be lower. So I think for now, you should at least leave 5G off, unless you know you're going to be stationary in a location where you're going to get good 5G service. If not, I'd turn it off. Demix says, I'm not sure if I already asked this question, but I ever had Thai food in New York? Yeah, my good friend owns a Thai food restaurant called Sen, S-E-N-N. Please check it out. So we'll cross and we'll actually see Bryant Park. I want to check out Bryant Park once again. And then we'll head all the way up to Rockefeller Center. Hey, Bond, James Bonds. That's a beautiful shot. Good to see you, James. So once again, I'll recommend that tax book that I just bought. So if anybody is interested in learning about how to protect your wealth from the greedy hands of the dirty, evil IRS, I would read the book, The Power of Zero. The Power of Zero. And the foreword of the book is actually written by Ed Slott. And Ed Slott graduated from Adelphi University right here on Long Island. And Ed Slott now has, as we pass another Tesla, Ed Slott now has his CPA practice in Rockville Center. So I would highly, highly recommend you check out that book, The Power of Zero. You're going to learn a lot about tax advantaged accounts. You're going to learn about estate planning. So check it out, The Power of Zero. I just started reading it. I'm almost actually finished. I only have a couple pages left. Very good book. But right now we are looking directly at the One Vanderbilt building, one of my favorite buildings in the city. Hey, Tony Sales says, what's the Swatch store line look like to the Speedmaster release tomorrow? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not a big watch guy. Oh, Shed Not Shields is exploration. Yeah, later, The Power of Zero by David McKnight. Great book. Yeah, Warwalker just got a contact high. So we're right near the Bank of China. Hey, DMYTRO. Is this high? Is New York City back to normal? Are there a lot of people outside? Yeah, well, tonight on a Friday night, there's a ton of people outside. Dang, that guy's a nut. Yeah, so a ton of people tonight. I'm not sure if I would say it is totally back to normal. There's not a lot of people back to the office, but I think it's slowly but surely getting a little bit better. Yeah, Western Mass Dave, it's always good to see you. Business Mail, it's this beautiful night in New York City. Good to see a business mail. Hey, Talent 103 says New York City is about 50%, not back anywhere near 2019 levels. This is Talent 103. Yeah, I would have to concur with that, especially talking about people that are back to the office. Because I used to actually work on 45th Street right here in Midtown Manhattan, and every time I would go to get coffee or lunch with my coworkers, this city was absolutely packed. But it's not really like that. At least not anymore. So you're looking at the One Vanderbilt building here. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. But Talent 103, good to see a business mail. Thank you for being here. Norman Flores says, have you ever been to Mexico? I have not, but I'm very, very interested in going to Mexico. Hey, Great Walks is great views. Good to see you. Furcho says, hello, Tom from Ecuador. All nights I'm watching your videos. Thank you. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Here's one of the WeWork offices here. Great office. Hey, T and Me TV, this is Tom. I just got back from the Grand Ole Opry. Good to see you. This is the Blue Bottle. Pretty good coffee shop here. I like Blue Bottle very much. Matt Bob says, WeWork still a thing? Yeah, actually, that is where my office is. So I am located here in New York City and in Brickell. So WeWork was a huge debacle, especially under the CEO, Adam Neumann, where, in my opinion, allegedly, I think, he stole a bunch of money. And he was very, very, let's just say not, so, yeah, I want to be careful what I say. I just don't think he was very responsible for the company, let's put it that way. And that is why SoftBank kicked him out. So this is actually the grass that is going to be put up in Bryant Park. So as you know, they don't literally grow the grass there. They actually bring it in and roll it out. So this grass will be rolled out on Bryant Park. Arturo Flores says, hello, Tom. Would you go all in on the market right now? Not all in, but I am probably about 50% back in the market on my actively managed accounts. Yeah, Cynthia Beale, that's a good word. Mismanaged. I think that's a good word, mismanaged. So Masayoshi Son, or Masa-san, actually was in a really, really big fight with Adam Neumann. And that is when SoftBank ousted Adam Neumann as the CEO of WeWork and actually put Marcelo in place. But then Marcelo actually just stepped down as the CEO and chairman of SoftBank and WeWork. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was a big issue with SoftBank. Western Mass Dave says 50% not bad. Jerry Kobe says there is a WeWork movie. Yeah, I think it's on Netflix. I think you were telling me about it. TME TV says, Tom, your walks are the best. Really enjoy your Miami live streams too. Thank you, TME TV. It's always good to have you here. Always a pleasure to talk to you on the streams. So this is the Stephen Schwarzman building, the New York Public Library. And as we know, Stephen Schwarzman made the majority of his money on Wall Street with leveraged buyouts. Back in the good old corporate raider days. Demtix says, I haven't seen a Miami live stream. Can't wait to see him. Yeah, if you look back in the channel, you could see the other live streams for sure. Yeah, Warwalker says Adam Neumann has cheated death many times. So this is the brand new New York Public Library. And on the 5th floor is the International Business Center, where you could actually use Bloomberg terminals at no cost. So it is entirely free, and you could use the Bloomberg terminals whenever you want on the 5th floor of this building. So we'll see if we can make it to Rockefeller Center before the phone dies. Hey, Cynthia Martinez is here. Good to see you, Cynthia. Hope you're well. Yeah, Matt Bob's, his terminals ain't cheap. I think they're like $2,500 a month. One of my favorite buildings in the city, Stephen Schwarzman building. The New York Public Library. So we're walking up 5th Avenue now. Hey, Lick Mora O. Says, hi Tom, I just came back from my trip to New York City. Beautiful city. Had trouble finding public restrooms near Times Square, but apart from that, everything was nice. Hey, well, thank you for coming to the city. We appreciate it, and I hope you had a good time. Hey, Gregory's here. Good to see you, Gregory. Webley says that's where they caught that dude who attacked. Really? I didn't know that. New York streets are really cool. Thank you. NMB045 says $2,500 a month. That eats up a big chunk of your investment gains. You got to have a lot of capital for that. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're a big like Wall Street investment bank, or you run a very large hedge fund, I think Bloomberg is worth it. But I definitely don't pay for Bloomberg. I just use it for free at the library. I mean, if they're going to offer it for free, you might as well use it, right? So we're going to see the One Vanderbilt building and the Chrysler building all in one. Yeah, NYC Balds' weed stocks went crazy today. You're right, they did. Talent 103 says, Tom, I own weed ETF, ticker symbol MJ. Very interesting. Krell B says, the sirens in New York. Yeah, Brian says Action Kid streaming at the moment too, Tom. Yeah, I was watching his stream of the music festival. Which is awesome. I'm glad he's down there now. Cosmos says, Tom, how's the Spanish going? It's going pretty well. I think I'm getting there slowly but surely. But what about you, Cosmo? Didn't you say you're going to learn French? Or was that Italian? I forget. Talent 103 says that is so empty for a Friday night. Yeah, it's really not. I do see what you mean, but it's really not. Because, you know, a lot of the times when we do these streams, depending on when people join the stream, they see less or more people. Right, so for example, we're on 5th Avenue near the Grand Central Station. There's not really that many people at this time of night because all the people that are in the city tonight are either in Koreatown or in Soho, you know, going out to all the clubs and bars. So when we were in Koreatown tonight, I think Koreatown was the most packed I've ever seen it in my entire life. So there'll always be locations within New York City that are very dead, so to speak. Like, for example, if we were streaming in the financial district tonight, there'd literally be no people on the street. But that's because a lot of people just live there. There's just apartments. So I think depending on where we're streaming, there's going to be more or less people. I think the same thing happens in Miami as well. So like we'll be walking in Brickell, the place will be packed, but then some people will join the stream in, let's say, downtown Miami, and then they'll be like, oh, where's all the people? It's very interesting how cities are like that, where people tend to migrate to. Hey, Brad's Brains has helped me out. Did weed move today? High volume. Hilarious. That's really funny, actually. Hey, Western Mass Dave says, Tom, your work in health industry, proud of you. Thank you, Western Mass Dave. I appreciate it. NYC Bald says, I paid $22 for GME $100 put. Expired today, worthless. The stock is worth $4. I'll try again next week. Yeah, I tend to stay away from a lot of those meme stocks. I think in general it is a waste of time. But again, that's just my opinion on that. Hey, Disney Matt says, hey Tom, just got back from my New York City trip. Hey, it seems like a lot of people on the stream have been coming to New York City, which is awesome. Love that. So here are my old stomping grounds. This is where I used to work. I'll take you guys near where I used to work. This is me, guys. I know everybody's gonna freak out because I'm wearing the mask, but it is freezing out. And when I walk around for like 3 hours and talk, my mouth gets extremely dry, and this helps to not do that. But it's good to see you guys. Good to see you, Matt Bob. So I used to work right here. I'll show you guys in the Marsh and McLennan building. We also had D.E. Shaw, which is a big quantitative hedge fund in our building as well. Warwalker, good to see you too, my friend. Lathe, I agree. But sometimes when people see it, it's just like it's a firestorm in the comments. Sometimes people go scorched earth on me in the comments. But it's funny, it's good. Well, check out how beautiful the architecture is in here. Hey, the one and only Michelle McGraw. Good to see you, my friend Michelle. Says, hey Tom, how are you tonight? I'm doing really good, Michelle. I just got back from Philadelphia. It was a really good trip. Yeah, Cosmos's mask helped to stop the runny nose and the cold, 100%. And even, let's say, like tonight is probably like 45 degrees out. So if you walk outside for a quick second, it's not going to be that cold. But if you're walking around for like 3+ hours, like I do, it gets cold at like hour 2, 2.5. Cosmo, yeah. That's the scorched earth comments. So here we are at the Marsh and McLennan building. This was one of my favorite offices I ever worked in my life. Really good time. A lot of smart people. Had a great time here. 1166 was my old stomping grounds for a long time here in New York. And I'll show you guys the lobby. The lobby in my old office is fantastic. There's a lot of art, a lot of cool stuff. And during the day, I'll show you guys, it's all closed off now. But during office hours, this is actually where we used to eat lunch outside. But obviously at night, they do close it off. So my office was on the second floor. You could look over here and you could eat lunch, hang out. But it's closed off after, I think, 7 p.m. They close the gates. But here we are, this is my old building, everybody. So take a look at all the beautiful artwork here. You'll see the cause statue I was talking about before in the building. And then we had D.E. Shaw. So D.E. Shaw & Co. is a quantitative hedge fund, a quant shop here on Wall Street. Hey, Jonathan Richards. Hey, we got a Tesla across the street, Jonathan. Jonathan Richards says, Tom, I love your old stomping grounds. Good to see you, Jonathan. Jay Bless is here. Good to see you. All right, here we go. So I think I told this story about 1,000 times, but every time I used to come back from all my appointments in the city, I used to come back and sit here in the morning. And I would look at the office right above the Chick-fil-A, and I would see the same guy every day, and I'd wave to him. And I haven't seen the guy since the pandemic. But those were good times before the world shut down. So that was my spot, quite literally right here. I would always sit right here. And that was my spot. Yeah, Emilio Jesus, here we go with the chat, the nudie chat people. I think we always get that spam bot in here at least once a night. Going scorched earth on the comments. So this is 46th Street, Little Brazil as it's called. Hey, Alan Wilson says now you see a family of manatees in the morning. That is true, Alan. We do that. But everybody, we're approaching Radio City Music Hall. But before that, we are going to pass the News Corporation building. And News Corp just recently purchased Investors Business Daily. They purchased Investors Business Daily, I believe, for $125 million. And obviously the subsidiaries are the Wall Street Journal and Barron's. So if you guys enjoyed the live stream tonight, because we are going to run out of battery quite soon, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Tomorrow's live stream, we are going to be on Wall Street, hopefully, or maybe we'll do a Central Park stream. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below what you want. Hey, Matt Bobbs is IBD Digital on sale for the first year, $249 currently. Hey, AA86 says, hey man, I love your videos. I'm visiting New York City for the first time in May. What's the weather like then? Very bullish. Very bullish on the weather in May. Sometimes it's a hit or miss in the beginning of May. But usually around May 25th is very good weather, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And as always, on Monday night, I will be sending out the Behind the Street newsletter. So if you want to know my thoughts not only on the US equities market, but also emerging markets and commodities, if you type !news, NEWS in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link where you could sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter for free and receive my thoughts on the market every Monday afternoon. But right here on West 49th Street, between West 50th and West 49th, is one of my favorite halal food spots in the city. It's called Adele's Famous. Now the line is so long that you're probably going to wind up waiting 2 hours. But I think if you're a tourist, it's well worth it just to try it. So check out the line, so long. So you can see right here all these people lining up. It starts here and it goes all the way down the block. Official, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Cole, I appreciate it. Good luck with your house. Let us know how the open house is. I think you told us that it's tomorrow, Cole. So please keep us surprised on that. So this is Radio City Music Hall. It looks like an event may be getting out here, but we will see. No way, did he really? Somebody says, I think Boogie Bob just went by. Is he streaming? We'll go say hi to him. Oh, hey. Good to see you. Do you watch the streams?
We follow you all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Alabama.
oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. That is so cool. Are you guys in the city for a long time or just?
I'm here working. I'm a nurse. I've been
Oh.
here 2 years, a little over 2 now.
Well, thank you for that. It's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, I started off selling like tech into healthcare, so like
Yeah,
home healthcare
yeah.
agencies.
I
Yeah,
heard.
so that's awesome. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.
I'm
That's
here for
awesome.
My birthday. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, if you guys want a good Italian place, if you go to Becco, B-E-C-C-O, very good place. It's actually on Restaurant Row here. So I'm not sure how long you're going to be here, but that's a great spot.
Okay.
But yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks so
We
much.
follow you.
Have a good one. See ya. Those two watched the Walks on Wall Street stream. Very cool. I believe they said they were from Alabama as well. Very cool. Our fellow nurses on the channel. We appreciate everybody who works in the medical industry and who are nurses. Much, much appreciated, especially during the pandemic we went through. So much appreciated. Roy S is like, at this stage, I'm sure Tom is the owner of Becco. I should probably be getting a royalty. I recommend it to everybody. Hey, Robert, Mohammed, what's up? Says, hey, Tom, were you in my area in Philly today? So I'm not sure. So it's a little weird. I got into Philly, but my meetings was, I believe, in the King of Prussia. Am I even saying that right? I believe King of Prussia. So if that's where you are, that is where I was. And it was actually pretty nice. It was more residential, more like suburbia, but it was really cool. Nice place. A lot of big houses too. But I wish I spent more time in Philadelphia. I really didn't get to explore the city too much. I was just in meetings and things like that, so. Yeah, check that out. Look at the gorgeous trees. But everybody, I do have to end the stream unfortunately now because I need my phone to get on the Long Island Railroad. And every time I get on the same train, the Long Island Railroad, the guy announces over the speaker, he's like, to board this train, you must have a ticket. We do not take stories, we only take tickets. And I thought that was hilarious because a lot of the times people will be like, yeah, I lost my ticket, I did this, and they tell the conductors a big story. So he's like, absolutely no stories allowed, only tickets. So I don't want to tell him a story about how my phone died and I was live streaming for 3 hours. So I do have to end it. But hey, thank you guys for joining the stream tonight. I appreciate it very much. We had a good conversation about remote patient monitoring today. Please, everybody, take some time to enjoy the weekend. It's supposedly supposed to be a little bit better weather, I guess. So David, I appreciate it. Cole, Santo, Katja, Gregory, Sally, photos from around New York. I appreciate it very much. All of our moderators, I appreciate it. Latha, thank you so much. War Walker, the Swan from Ireland, Jonathan Richards, appreciate it. Michelle McGraw, Mohammed, Abdullah, Robert Mohammed, thank you for joining. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video, and we'll see you all soon. Al J, Roy S, and to the Mighty Bull. Have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look, and everybody enjoy your weekend.